the CP, Lagos State CP Owomwa, on the interim investigation report into the unfortunate death of Ileri Oluwaladimeji Aloba. Firstly, what are the immediate chain of events that occasioned the death of Mohbad? Secondly, who are the actors that could, within the context of extant criminal law and procedures, be evidentially held criminally liable, either individually or jointly, for the death of Mohbad on 12 September 2023, into the allegations of assault and bullying leveled against Sam Larry and Naira Marley. Suspects. 5 suspects have so far been identified, arrested, and detained and interrogated on their alleged roles in the sequence of events that led to the death of this singer. The summary is as follows. Ms. Feyi Sion Ogedengbe is the auxiliary nurse who was contacted and invited by Yobani Sadiq, aka Spending, a friend of Mohbad, on 11 September 2023 to treat the singer at the deceased residence in Lekki. She eventually came on Tuesday, 12 September 2023 and administered 3 different injections, which are believed to have occasioned the chain of reactions that directly resulted in the eventual death of the singer. She is the principal suspect in the death of Mohbad. She acknowledged that it was the injections that she administered on the deceased that triggered the reactions which eventually led to Mohbad's death. Other expert opinions and witnesses' statements corroborated her admittance. Her actions of administering doses of tetanus toxoid, paracetamol, intravenous, and cetrazone injection, which was also administered intravenous on Mohbad at his residence, that's Mohbad's residence, on 12 September 2023, immediately triggered the reactions, including vomiting, goosebumps, and convulsion, that eventually resulted in the singer's death. This criminal liability is further heightened, granted the evidential fact that as an auxiliary nurse, she is not qualified to administer such medications or function as a qualified nurse. She also did this in a non-clinical environment and in a professionally negligent manner that negated standard medical protocols. 2. Mr. Ayobami Sadiq, aka Spending. Sadiq is a friend to Mohbad who invited the auxiliary nurse to treat the deceased. He's been suspected of conspiracy in the death of the singer. His action in inviting a person known to him as an auxiliary nurse to attend to the deceased under a non-clinical setting occasioned Mohbad's death. He's being held for conspiracy to commit felony. Ibrahim Oluwatosin Owoduni, aka Pride Boy, is a childhood friend of Mohbad. He attended the show at Ikorodu in Mohbad's company on 10 September 2023. At the end of the show, Mohbad and Ibrahim were engaged in a violent fight, during which Mohbad was injured. The management of the injury subsequently resulted in his death. So he's being treated as a suspect. Samson Balogun Eletu, aka Sam Larry, is a suspect who was arrested on allegation of being complicit in the death, as well as in relation to the videos that have gone viral about bullying and assaults. He was arrested, he's still in detention. Abdulaziz Fashola, aka Naira Marley, was also arrested and is still currently in detention for similar allegations. Other actions that have been undertaken by the Special Investigation Team include exhumation, autopsy, and toxicology tests, which were undertaken on 21st September 2023. The results of the autopsy and the toxicology tests are being awaited. Investigation letters were also dispatched officially to National Drug and Law Enforcement Agency with a view to getting their official representations on the allegations raised in one of the videos by the deceased about his experience when he was arrested. We also forwarded investigation letters to Nigeria Medical Association, the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, with a view to getting their expert opinion on the conduct and processes of the principal suspect, the auxiliary nurse, in attending to Mohbad. Letters were also dispatched to the CMD, Cornerstone Hospital, Akute, Ogun State, to clarify the role of the hospital in the training of the principal suspects. And from the inquiries, we discovered that she's not just an auxiliary nurse. Currently, she has no job, so she operates from home to attend to anybody. So she's a quack, by our own definition, who is a freelancer. Letters were also dispatched to Nigeria Immigration Service with a view to confirming the travel history of some of the suspects, particularly Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Investigation was extended also to CMD Kuramed Hospital and the CMD Perez Hospital, where the late singer was taken to as brought in dead. Statements were recorded from them and their staff. Crime scene visits. Detectives have also visited the residence of the deceased at Lekki. The intention was to review the CCTV footage in the house. Unfortunately, the CCTV was out of order. It's not been functional even before this incident. However, the visit led to the recovery of remnants of drugs and injections and other test kits administered by the auxiliary nurse, including 1 tetanus toxoid injection, 3 used syringes, 2 used syringes filled with suspected medicine contents, 1 packet of ceftriaxone solution, procaine penicillin injection, empty broken pack of diclofenac injection, paracetamol diluted with water, water for injection, 6 hand gloves, 1 bandage, 1 plaster, and 1 iodine solution. Also separately recovered is the mobile phone of the deceased. All have been registered as exhibits. We also visited, the investigation team also visited Kuramed Hospital, Perez Hospital, Chandelier Nightclub, VI, which represents one of the scenes where the deceased in the viral video was assaulted at the Elegushi Beach also. Medical opinion. In addition, as part of investigative efforts that are aimed at obtaining expert opinion in the likely cause of death of Mohbad through a professional review of the actions of auxiliary nurse Feyisayo Ogedengbe, the principal suspect. On 26 September 2023, a team of medical doctors, pharmacists, and nurses drawn from the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, Nigeria Medical Association, and the Nigeria Police Force Medical Services jointly interviewed the auxiliary nurse. A detailed report, which is being utilized as an expert opinion and critical evidence of high prosecutorial value, has been submitted. And professional negligence in the manner the drugs were administered on the deceased by the principal suspects. The report also confirmed that as an auxiliary nurse, Ms. Feisayo does not have the competence, knowledge, brief, or certification to diagnose, prescribe, or administer drugs and injections on patients, as she was supposed to work under the directive and supervision of a qualified medical doctor or nurse while on duty. Abdulaziz Abdeshinon Fashola Nairamani and Samson Erinfolami Balogun Samlari denying allegations of complicity in the death of Mohbad by pleading an alibi that they were both out of the country when the incident occurred, and they were not in any manner involved in the chain of events that occasions his eventual death between 10th to 12th September 2023. However, there are preponderance of evidence linking both Naira Marley and Sam Larry to the allegations of threat to life, cyber-stalking, and sundry crimes committed against Mohbad in his lifetime, and they are being so held liable. Interim findings. From investigations so far conducted, it has been established as follows. 1. The chain of events that directly and specifically led to the death of Ileriolu Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, occurred between 10th to 13th September 2023, and the location of incident stretched over Ikorodu and Lekki, Lagos. Feisayo Ogedengbe, female, who as an auxiliary nurse administered multiple and highly potent injections, which triggered an immediate reaction that eventually occasioned the death of Mohbad, is the principal suspect in the homicide case. Feisayo Ogedengbe is not a qualified registered nurse, and her illegal and medical negligence are believed to have been directly responsible for the chain reactions and eventual death of Mohbad at 15:43 hours on 12 September 2023. The time within which auxiliary nurse Ogedengbe administered the injections on Mohbad, through his reactions, convulsion, and eventual death, is confirmed to be within less than an hour, covering from 1440 hours when the principal suspect administered the sets of injection and 1543 hours when Mohbad was confirmed dead at Kuramed Hospital. Aside her admittance to the consequences of her actions, the report of the medical panel that reviewed auxiliary nurse Feisayo's actions concluded that she went beyond her limitations as an auxiliary nurse by administering intravenously cetrazone on the deceased, and that this, from their review, was the most likely cause of the anaphylactic reaction, which could have been promptly resolved and his death possibly prevented if the disease was treated in the hospital. There are documentary evidence, international travel records, confirming that both Abdulaziz Fashola Naramani and Samson Balogun Eletu Sam Larry were not in Lagos, Nigeria, when the events that directly led to Mohbad's death occurred between 10th to 12th September 2023. While Naramani was out of the country from 21st August to 3rd October when he reported and was arrested, when he returned and was arrested, Sam Larry was out of the country from 4th to 28th September when he also returned to the country and was arrested. On the demise of the deceased, his remains were buried at Ikorodu by his relatives on 13th September 2023, prior to the uproar that greeted his death, and which informed the launch of the homicide investigation. On 21st September 2023, the corpse was exhumed, and on same date, at about 16:00 hours, autopsy was performed on the remains of the deceased, and vital specimens were taken and sent to Lagos State DNA and Forensic Center for toxicology examination. The reports are still being awaited. Also being awaited is the official response from NDLEA on one of the viral videos containing allegations by the singer on his experience at the agency's Lagos office sometime in October 2022. Conclusion. Although the results of the autopsy and toxicology tests are being awaited, substantial grounds have been covered well enough by the Special Investigation Team to support the processing of the case file to the Director of Public Prosecution. Consequently, the case file is being duplicated and forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecution for vetting and legal advice, the outcome of which will inform further investigation, investigative actions, and prosecution. While reassuring that the command will sustain its firm determination to ensure justice in this case, I wish to assure that the members of the public will be availed of any further development in relation to the outcome of the autopsy and toxicology reports, DPP advice, feedback from NDLEA, and any other developments in the investigation into this case. I thank you for your coverage.